Well, Pakistan finished the day 132 for 2 after Australia made 487 in their first innings here at Perth Stadium. It was an intriguing day. M.Marsh made 90, but Amir Jamal took 6 wickets on debut. He was very impressive for Pakistan. Danielle, what did you make of a pretty even day on an unusual surface that has had plenty in it, but only 12 wickets have fallen?
I think Pakistan will be fairly encouraged by that day after an ominous first hour. Pakistan perhaps could have taken further control of the game if they'd had a better first hour. Amir Jamal didn't really bowl in that first 14 overs or so. He promised yesterday that he'd try and bowl Australia out in the first hour. But then the moment he started bowling, his pace was up. He was quicker than any of the other bowlers. He took a wicket with perhaps the ball of the day in his first over, got Alex Carey out, clipped the off bail. And then after that, while many of the other bowlers struggled for impact, M.Marsh went after everyone else. Jamal kept chipping away with wickets. He took 6 of the final 7. And keeping Australia to below 500 feels odd to say is something of a psychological boost for Pakistan. But yes, Australia at one point looked like they would have a decision as to when to declare, whereas now Australia got bowled out for less than 500. Pakistan posted a respectable response, so all to play for.
What did you make of the response from the Pakistan batters against some pretty challenging Australian bowling?
I mean, there's a difference between the Pakistan way and the Pakistan play, wasn't there? Pakistan promised that they'd play a lot more aggressively, but as Omar Gul said in the press conference, he thought Australia's bowlers, and I agree with him, Australia's bowlers were very disciplined, bowled tight lines, their pace was up. This is still a very good wicket to bowl on. If you bowl well, there's wickets to be had there. Some might even argue they were unlucky not to pick up 1 or 2 earlier. And I think in that particular set of situations, there was pragmatism that kicked in. Abdullah Shafiq is technically sound. He doesn't need to attack necessarily to stay at the crease for a long time. So he played the best way he thought he needed to play in this situation. Imam perhaps got bogged down slightly, but the most important thing is he's still there. I thought what was interesting was Shan Masood was the one who promised the Pakistan way, and Pakistan had promised to take Nathan Lyon on. And in that particular case, they remained true to their word. Second ball, Shan Masood faced, charged Nathan Lyon down, got a boundary in his first over, was more than a runner ball for a while. And so, yeah, I think to some extent Pakistan played the ball and played each situation on its merit. And they can't be too disappointed with the result. 132 for 2 under pressure is not the worst situation to be in at the end of day 2.
Australia will be a little bit frustrated. They bowled a lot better than probably the score suggests, and M.Marsh said as much in the press conference afterwards. He felt like there was plenty in this surface for the fast bowlers. All 3 quicks plus Lyon and Marsh himself bowled pretty well. They were very tidy. They beat the bat a lot. Just didn't have enough to find the outside edge, and that was just the way it's been so far in this test match. But Marsh, he was the star of the day with the bat for Australia. He played beautifully, actually. He's continued his form from Headingley earlier this year, and also on the way through the ODI World Cup. He is a different person, a different player from the last time he played a test match here at home 6 years ago, when he also made 100 over the river at the Wacker ground against England. He played with such intent, he was imposing, he walked down the track at Pakistan's fast bowlers. Anything short was met with immense power. He hit some enormous sixes over deep square. He was probably unlucky not to go on and get 3 figures. He was disappointed he'd missed out, but again, he was trying to show that intent first ball after lunch and was beaten by a really good delivery, actually one that nipped back through the gate and took out his middle stump. But he can be well pleased. It does create a conundrum for Australia though. They were missing Cameron Green with the ball today. Last year on a very placid surface, one slightly less fiery than this one, he was able to have an impact against the West Indies and change the course of the game. Marsh probably isn't going to have that impact with the ball. He did bowl a decent spell today, but it is a problem that M.Marsh is scoring runs. He's become the player Australia always wanted him to become, but they are maybe slightly less potent with the ball without Green there, with Marsh filling in overs for the Australian quicks when he comes on. So it's something to look out for as they go further into this series, further into this match. But the game's evenly poised, Danielle. There's plenty to play for. Pakistan have a chance, with Babar still to come, to really eat into that first innings lead. Stay tuned on ESPN Cricinfo for more coverage from Perth. It's a fascinating test match shaping up here.